The Empire is no longer, and the Beskar has returned. This is the way.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. Give me the Star Wars, no
Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge from a galaxy far, far away. Jaime En Fuego welcoming you once again to my ongoing coverage on Enfuegotainment. That's right, my namesake program, and this is about the third episode, Chapter 3, The Sin of the Mandalorian. And I just had a nerdgasm. I seriously did. I was jumping up and cheering during this episode. I was so pumped up. This made me feel like a kid, legit. I felt like I was, 6 years old watching Return of the Jedi on VHS for the first time. That was my level of excitement watching this. This, after Chapter 1, I actually liked a little bit better than Chapter 2 because of the fact that I felt like there was more groundwork laid, more happened. Even though I did really dig the second episode, the fleshing out of the, wolf and cub and all this different stuff, and just it turning even more into a Western, into this interesting, adult-child bonding and everything. And, Jawas are cool and whatever. So obviously I'm spoiling a little bit from previous chapters here. I am not going to spoil this in this Rapido review, but I have to say, this finally delivered what I was hoping in every possible capacity that this show could entail. Genuinely. It was directed by Deborah Chow, I believe, and it's legit the best episode yet, and it has officially set a very high benchmark for this show. So, without really revealing too much, you know that we have little baby Yoda at this particular point, okay? That was the package. That was what or Mando, as he's referred to by Carl Weathers, who it's great to see in a larger role in this episode, and just get more about his character, his conviction, his affinity for the Mandalorian, or this Mandalorian, I should specify. And yeah, so he brings our little baby Yoda back to his bounty headquarters planet of sorts, and delivers him to Werner Herzog, I believe is the name of the actor, and his battalion of stormtroopers, who are presumably working for warlords and people who used to be part of the Empire, because as they say at one point in this episode, a few times actually, the Empire is no more. So he delivers our baby Yoda, and yet you can tell that he has mixed feelings about it. He asked them questions about what are you going to do with the child, so on and so forth, and yet he still takes his bounty of this Beskar, this high-grade metal, and in turn goes back underground to this secret hideout of sorts for the Mandalorians. And you find out a little bit of interesting history about just how they are living at this current time. How only one of them comes up from underground at a time. Because you meet various Mandalorians, and there is obviously a little bit of a disagreement and a conflict of interest with him working for these people from the Empire, or at least formerly affiliated with, or whatever. And that's because of the fact that, the Imperial symbol is on this metal. There's a disagreement as he's getting this new, badass digs of armor made. And that's about as far as I can go without saying that he's having second thoughts. And you can tell he's having second thoughts about having delivered the child as he's doing it. There's conviction. There is definitely some care and compassion and affinity. This Mandalorian actually has a conscience. And we also get some cool additional flashback stuff, presumably back to the Clone Wars, about him as a child while this new badass armor is being forged for him. Because, yeah, his got messed up when he was on this mission. Not that it was the greatest looking initially, but I mean, it's very worn at this point. So he's got his shiny new digs, and then it just basically boils down to, should he go back and, should he do something about this child? And let's just say a battle of some sort occurs between, there's various parties involved, and I guess without spoiling things, the best thing that I will say is this was legit, at the end of the episode, one of the best fights that I've ever seen in any Star Wars thing, period. That's what made me jump up and go absolutely bonkers, batshit crazy. And Jon Favreau, man, you are doing, as the creator and the guy who's scripting this, I am just, give him anything Star Wars, you know, have him work on the new trilogy, have him jump in for the Old Republic stuff that they were supposed to have those Game of Thrones guys work on. I mean, I just cannot sing the praises enough about this really just deep story that he is telling with legitimate emotion and just multi-layered aspects of intrigue and perspective and disagreement and the various agendas between, you know, the roguishness of the bounty hunters versus the remaining evil of the Empire versus, once again, the conviction that our lead character Mando, as Weathers, you know, as I mentioned, kept calling him, and that just put a smile on my face too. Every performance in this is convincing. Stormtroopers are actually formidable in this, as opposed to, you know, just being like, oh, shoot, miss, shoot, miss, shoot, miss. I mean, they definitely seem menacing in this, as they probably should, you know, being remnants of the Empire and everything. The score has grown on me so much, not that I disliked it initially, but it gives me chills at this point, you know, especially as he was going back down into like the underground hideaway for these Mandalorians that live in the shadows and only come up one at a time and all this stuff. Just their credo of, you know, you are both hunter and prey if you choose to never take your helmet off and be a part of this group and live this life. And, you know, this is the way. That's their credo, and I loved it. I loved this episode. Brilliantly directed, just violent and gritty and everything that I wanted this series to be, and I can't wait to see where they go after this episode. Once again, though, they raised my level of expectation with this third episode, but I don't know. I have confidence that this team can deliver, and keep in mind this has already been confirmed for a second season. I'm overjoyed right now. I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I feel like I am like 6 years old again, you know, watching the original trilogy. This show is delivering, guys. So, man, if you're just for whatever reason watching this, despite not having seen the episode yet, definitely sign up for that free Disney Plus. Binge these first 3 episodes. Do your thing. Get to it. Because damn is this good. So, I have been Jaime En Fuego. Y'all can find me on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, obviously here on YouTube. I just put up my early review of Knives Out because the embargo was already lifted. It's legit one of the most entertaining times I've had in a cinema in years. It's jumped into the ranks of my favorite films of the year, so definitely when it is released next Thanksgiving week, make sure to go and check it out. I've also done tons of Star Wars coverage already this past year, retro reviews of the trilogy, the prequel trilogy. I'm going to be doing reviews here in the next month leading up to the release of The Rise of Skywalker of the original trilogy, some more comic book reviews, some more novel reviews. It's been a journey, but this is up there for one of the best Star Wars things that I have ever seen. If you were somehow stumbling upon this, having not been aware of the other stuff that I do on the Horror Show channel, youtube.com/The Horror Show channel, we put up at least 1 episode a day of spooktacular coverage. In certain circumstances, we do 2, and we don't consider ourselves the best horror reviewers on the internet, but we attempt to be the most prolific and the most comprehensive, a true horror variety show, over 30,000 strong. Much love to all of you who are over watching this video from that channel. And then lastly, every Monday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, I am on the Willis Greedia YouTube channel doing a program called Show Business with the showrunner over there, none other than CP, my dude, and from 2 Cents of Nonsense Reviews, Lindsay Lindsay. So if you have the inclination to hear about box office discussion, crunching some numbers, making predictions about the upcoming weekend, and some palaver about just all of the cool news stories in the entertainment world that have happened in the previous week, that is a cool spot to go, and it is greatly appreciated. Arigato, danke, merci. Thank you, cheers, and until the reel of Ka comes around once more, I shall say hasta luego, cinemigos, across the globe and the galaxy. But I am hopeful that we get to share more of this film palaver, TV palaver, I guess in this case, sooner rather than later. And until then, may the Force be with you. This is the way.